uh-oh, I want to talk about something really, really important. I want to talk about the massive shift and what it means. I am willing to bet, if you're watching this video, you're experiencing this. And if not, well, I want to introduce it to you. The massive shift that we are going through in a much more impactful way. It's been going on for a long time, but it's building up steam, let's put it that way. A massive shift. And how do you make decisions from here on out about other people, situations? How do you deal with that in the massive shift? You're going to be surprised at what I say. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Grab your coffee, because this is a good one. Let's go. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through the fears and live an amazing life. Ooh. All right, massive shift. I think you're going to love this. I want you to know that how we deal with one another, the opportunities that are coming by us through all the probabilities that exist and all things that are being presented to us are being handled differently now. There is an acceleration, and I'm going to tell you what the massive shift is and help you to possibly reconsider certain things that you're doing or decisions you're making right now in your life, especially in regard to other people and, of course, situations. The massive shift is accelerating. What does that mean? Do you have a lower tolerance for bad behavior? And I don't mean judgment. I mean not getting involved. I mean on a higher level. A higher level of low tolerance is no longer engaging in getting entangled, not whether you approve or not or judgment. I'm not talking about that. That's a lower frequency in itself. That's not a higher frequency. Oh, they're the bad ones. I'm not talking about separation. In fact, the total opposite. Do you love somebody enough to be okay and accept? I did a whole video on acceptance. You guys really struggle with that. No, you don't have to approve it. Acceptance means that you are accepting that they are making that decision. Now here's what we're doing in the new earth and the massive shift. We are creating now. Year of action. We're now creating. Before we were fighting, battling, struggling, blaming, entangled in the negativity. The new earth shift and that massive shift that I'm talking about right now is that we are no longer tolerating and engaged in the negativity. I'll give you an example. There's some amazing people out there that are so stuck in their patterns and are not mastering the teachings that they're getting over and over again. Now, I know of a situation, and I'm not going to give too many details because I always protect everybody. I'll give you an example of someone, a very wonderful, very intelligent person, creative, beautiful, and you would say this person's highly spiritual, who is in a very negative relationship. Now, I'm not talking about blatant negative. I'm talking about, one of those relationships where you're going, this is not good, and we've all been in it, and the person may be really intelligent and really treat you well, but they're underlying your self-esteem, blowing out all your confidence and slowly taking you down. You go into spells of maybe them getting into some weirdness and negativity, and you hang in there because they're so nice and you love them and all this crap. It goes on. Everybody's been through that, right? I think everybody's pretty much been through that. And so most people will eventually get out of it by choice or, get pushed out. That person, the negative person goes on to whatever. I say negative, but, the person who's making lower choices goes on to the next victim. They'd have to be a victim to stay in the relationship. And so when you decide not to be a victim, you take charge of your own life, and then you start to make higher choices. So this person that I know of pulled out of that, but they pulled out because the choices of the person who was not treating them well pushed them out of the relationship. they probably would not have walked out themselves. So they had an opportunity. There was a massive shift at that moment. This is going to happen with you, for you, with jobs, relationships, situations, a lot. It appears to be negative when actually you're shifting into a new opportunity, a massive shift, a new pathway. I talked about portals in my last video. Portals will open. Those are temporary, huge opportunities for a big shift to go into another reality. Here you have non-stop, unlimited choices of other pathways. And if you go on a pathway over here, you may run into a portal to go into something much more massive, all right? A bigger purpose for you. Not even bigger, your purpose. You being here and mastering your own challenges is your first purpose. We're here to change the frequency of the planet. One light being at a time, that's just you. That's all you have to concern yourself with. Now what's happening is this person, of course, was really like feeling like, wow. And I said, you know, you dodged a bullet. You dodged a bullet. Thank goodness that this fell apart, because your life would have looked very different, because you have a pattern. And even though you know that this is not good for you, your choices have not been, let's just say, the most productive, evolving you into something greater. Well, everything's great. And then a couple weeks later, the phone call comes in, and the choice this person made was to go back into the negative teachings, the teachings with this other person. Now, what happened today, and of course I parted company with that because I'm choosing, and this is what I want to talk to you about, I am choosing not to turn my back on somebody, because I already opened my portal, my door, my gateway to them, knowing that they were going to go through some massive change and choices that they had to make, a turning point in their life. They went back on the other side of the door. Do you close the door? Now, you might say that that's not unconditional love, to close the door. I never closed the door, but I'm not going to go over to the other side to, let's just say, interact and get entangled with that person. I'm still going to stay on this side of the door. The door remains open. So I got contacted today. Yeah, well, shocker, right? Of course, the pattern replayed itself. And now that person who was so confident that they were going to go back into this situation, that they thought they could change, trying to make somebody else change, right? It'll be different this time. You have to accept the choices of others and know that you cannot change them. You can only change yourself. And sometimes we just have to walk away. And a lot of that's going on right now. So what did I do? I didn't go on the other side of the door. The opportunity that was given to this person is closed for me. Why? Maybe they're going to make different choices from here on out. But I am now focused on other things. Now, this might seem not loving and open, but we are in a less tolerant, let's just say, frequency shift that now no longer gets entangled in the trying to fix, the trying to change everything. We are shifting into creation. And that can come join us. Does this make sense? So before we were over here going, change, you're wrong, you're blah, such a pie hole. Now we're saying, wait a minute, I'm still involved and entangled in all of this. It's changing nothing. I'm wanting the duck to be an elephant. It doesn't work. Now I have to go over to the other side of this door. I'll leave it open because all are welcome. And that's the unconditional love. Is to say, I accept your choices, but I will no longer become entangled in them. I call it the no tolerance zone. Because tough love usually is the best lesson for people, isn't it? Right? If you think you can keep acting a certain way and you're going to get everything, you know, you're going to kick and scream and break things, you still get the gifts, there's no incentive to stop. The no tolerance is the massive shift of new creation of the new earth. And that those who want to join in, well, yes, be of service, contribute. We will not mollycoddle you anymore. We will not say it's okay. Poor little you. In fact, we're going to do the opposite. You are powerful, and you made those choices. What did you learn from it? What did you learn? Some of them are damn painful. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to be the shining star to show others that they can change their lives and that they can rise above and that forgiveness is free? It's not approval, but it's showing that there's a better, higher pathway. So, the new earth, the massive shift that's happening is a completely different mentality with and I know a lot of you are experiencing this. It's like, I don't have time for that anymore. I'm not going to sit and argue with somebody. It makes no sense. That's their choice and their thoughts and beliefs. Bless you. I'm going to be over here. So what are we going to do? We're going to be creators. We're going to be inspiring. We're going to invent. We're going to, take control of our lives. Are you in a situation where you're trying to fix somebody or you think that it's wrong to turn your back on them? You're not turning your back. You're saying that portal closed. And now it doesn't mean that I don't love you, but it means that you no longer are going to bring your negativity and bad behavior and patterns into my life, because I am moving on to other things. And so I guarantee you that they will find another pathway, and when they're ready, another person who will embrace them, who they haven't done the repeat patterns, negative patterns with, and they create a new energy with a new set of situations, friends, whatever. So I'm telling you this because so many of you, I know, are just not disapproving or judging, but just walking away. The Dalai Lama said, when asked, what do I do when I'm around negative energy? Do we send them love and bless them? He said, no, walk away. High five, Dalai Lama. Yeah, not, oh, you're bad, and it's like, okay, I feel negative energy. What am I going to do with this? Walk away. Oh, no, I'm going to bless you. I will change you. No, this energy field is powerful, and it's making its own decisions. Nothing has power over you. Nothing's afraid of you, right? That's a self-created thing. And you don't have to be afraid of anything else. And those of you who have experienced dark energies, it's time to face it. I've had dark energies show up, and you know what? I don't have time for it. Bye. Never came back again, never came back. So sometimes you'll open up your own gateways and portals, and everything's in there. The bad kid that's screaming and kicking's in there. But walk away and understand that it is now okay for you to focus on 100% higher, better use of your energy fields. So do not get entangled in medium miscommunication. 99.999% of news is not true. And you have to accept that challenges are going to come along the way. That's the game. That never stops. As long as you're in this game, it never stops. Otherwise, life would get boring. You'd be sitting around going, okay, now what? I have everything. Now what? Maybe we'll have a little bit of excitement, right? Just a little bit? Of course. So, the massive shift is a different mentality. It's a different thought process. It's a different behavior. It's a different action. This is the year of action. We're taking action. We're creating new pathways, new resources for people, new choices for others to make. Not pushing things on them, but allowing them to make higher choices because we're creating choices. Does this make sense? So, my friend, who I knew I'd hear from again, will not have the opportunity that I had presented because that is gone. That portal closed. Because I'm on to new things that are higher choices that are going to help the collective to make other higher choices. And I cannot get entangled with more drama and, let's just say, Pac-Man getting eating choices over and over at the same spot. You got to master that. I hope this was helpful. Now you guys want to come over. These are free videos. I got trained 7 years ago. I left an investment banking career, very prestigious one, to go after my dreams. And I wrote a best-selling, award-winning book. I have a television movie. I have other books out. I launched online businesses, and that's why I'm sitting here in front of you. There are big choices you can make, and there's nothing to be afraid of. It's exhilarating, right? It's exhilarating. So, are you ready to make those choices? Again, Manifest Anything is free down here, but we're going to take it to the next level there too. You either participate or you don't. There's no right nor wrong. But I think you're ready for the new earth, the massive shift that goes into the golden era of light and love. And that will exist with the other programs running here. But ours, you won't be entangled if you are not getting involved in it. You know it exists. But you are the creator of the new world that allows all of those situations to change and allows them to make different choices. This is all good stuff, people. I really promise you that. If you're not feeling it, then come on board with us. Join the Miracle Circle. Every month we get together in a massive circle. Please let the judgment go and just observe. Please accept without the judgment and know that I don't approve, so what am I going to do to change it so that that person who's striking out in fear came from something that was very unhappy or unloving or something in their life prompted that. I promise you that. And that's not something that we should ever judge. Lest ye be judged. Ye are all gods. These things you shall do and more. You're whole and perfect, strong and powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. And ooh, it's getting a little chilly. I better finish my coffee. I love you. You're unconditionally, beautifully loved always. And don't think your angels aren't talking to you. They're just standing back there. They're like, you're making progress. We can't interfere. But we're here always with you. That was my message from them to you. Namaste.